Chapter 2. Entering Nefarious. The six adventurers approached the border of Nefarious with a sense of foreboding. The once great kingdom was now a shadow of its former self, ruled by the cruel vampire Lord Gerard. The sky was a sickly green hue, casting an eerie glow on the land below. The very air in the swamps seemed to be infused with a malevolent power that twisted the mind and turned the heart to darkness. The six companions barely managed to move forward on their arduous journey within the fetid depths of the swamp. The friends trudged through the thick mud, their footsteps squelching with a sickening sound as they struggled to keep their footing. The stench of decay was overwhelming, and the writhing tendrils of vines and roots seemed to reach out to ensnare them at every turn. As they moved deeper into the swamp, they came across a mire filled with the bones of long-dead creatures. The bones seemed to be moving of their own accord, twisting and writhing in a grotesque dance. The companions knew that they were not alone in the swamp, and that the forces of darkness were gathering around them. The skies above were dark and foreboding, as though the very heavens themselves were conspiring against them. The air was filled with the eerie sounds of whispering voices and the rustling of unseen creatures. The companions pressed on, their resolve steeled by their determination to succeed. As the time passes, they began to feel the effects of the malevolent power that permeated the air. Ragnar's brooding nature became more pronounced, and Sir Cornelius's obsession with power grew more intense. Noslime's thirst for knowledge became a feverish obsession, while Sir Valbert's stoic demeanor turned to one of unrelenting determination. Captain Jupiter's mischievous nature turned to one of cautiousness, and Sir Hector's honor began to falter. The companions knew that they could not allow the swamp to overcome them, for if they did, they would be lost forever to the forces of darkness. And so, with a fierce determination, they pressed on, their minds and bodies racked with the torments of the swamp. As the group drew near, a troop of Gerard's army of undead soldiers materialized out of the murky mists of the swamps of Nefarious. Sir Hector, the first knight of the Fluffy Empire, stepped forth, his devotion to the Empire an unshakable honor, putting the band of adventurers in perilous circumstances. All unwary travelers, snarled one of the ghastly soldiers, its voice a menacing growl. "What errand brings you to Nefarious?" Sir Hector, filled with pride, answered boldly, "We seek a magical artifact hidden in these accursed swamps. Our quest is for the greater good of all fluffy kind." The undead soldiers sneered in derision. "You dare to trespass in the domain of our lord, the mighty Gerard?" Ragnar, the fluffy Viking, advanced with his magical battle axes at the ready. "We shall not be dissuaded by the likes of you." The battle that ensued was ferocious, with the valiant adventurers battling fiercely against the relentless horde of zombies, but they were outnumbered and soon found themselves cornered. It was then that a mysterious figure appeared. Her beauty and charisma were beyond compare, and the adventurers were momentarily stunned by her appearance. She introduced herself as Eva and proposed a sinister bargain. "In exchange for Sir Cornelius," Eva said, her voice like honey dripping from poisoned lips, "I will let the rest of you go free, for now." Desperate to find a cure for his curse, Sir Cornelius agreed to the deal. The rest of the group was forced to abandon him and continue their quest without him, but not before pledging to themselves to rescue their friend. As they departed, they could not dispel the haunting feeling that they had made a grave error. They had ventured into Nefarious, a realm plagued by the undead and governed by a cruel overlord, and now one of their own was at the mercy of a seductive and dangerous creature. The journey ahead was fraught with unspeakable terrors, and the consequences of their actions weighed heavily upon their hearts. Venturing deeper into the swamp, the landscape grew more and more twisted. The trees were gnarled and black, their branches like the grasping fingers of the undead. The water was murky and stagnant, and strange noises echoed through the darkness. And then they heard freezing whisper in their heads. It was the voice of Cornelius, filled with pain and fear. "Help, help me, please." The whisper faded away,